Hello all, welcome to my channel. This is my first video that I'm going to be posting on here for my makeup tutorials. This one is a stage makeup. This is kind of a Ukrainian dance or like a ballet makeup look. So this is going to be kind of the standard of what I do for stage performances. You can follow along if you want, and you can kind of like change up a few steps as well just to kind of fit like whatever specific look you are going for with your dance performance makeup. So like if you need to change the lipstick or like need to do the eyeshadow a bit differently, yeah, but this is kind of like what I do for my performances. So hopefully you guys like it, and let's jump right into this. So first, I'm gonna use this Farsali Unicorn Essence Skin Enhancing Antioxidant Serum. It's just the mini one that I got from Sephora. This is what it looks like on the inside. It's like pink and it smells really nice. So I'm just gonna like put that in on both cheeks, like so, and then on my nose, forehead, and then chin, and then this is gonna be my primer, and then I'm just gonna like kind of spread it around, and then I'm gonna pat it in because I read that patting like your skincare products into your skin like helps it melt in better when you actually like pat it in like this. So I'm just gonna like pat it in and then just kind of like all over. Now I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit just to like soak in a little more before we start foundation. So I have these Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponges that I like using. So yes, I'm gonna use that for my foundation. So I'm gonna take that Real Techniques sponge, and then I'm going to take this Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. This is this shade 102 Fair Porcelain that I'm gonna take. So I'm just gonna put that out on my hand. I do use more than one pump. I'm just gonna take two, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little dot of it, and then I'm gonna put it like along my cheek here. And then I'm just gonna blend it in with the sponge. And just get into the hairline. And then just kind of along the jaw. I have some acne right here as well. And then on my forehead, I'm just gonna brush my brow hairs down so I get like close to where they begin here. And it's okay if you get foundation on your eyebrows. And then just like up against the hairline too. Next step, concealer. So I'm going to take the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this one is in Fair. So it's gonna be a bit lighter, so I'm just gonna put that under my eyes, and then I'm gonna like kind of highlight with this too. Put some under my eyes here. And then a bit on my forehead. And then I blend it out. You can put it up above on your eyelid too. And just in that triangle shape along your cheekbone, and then kind of like angling up too. And then blend in the forehead. Sorry, the camera keeps on like going white, so sorry about that. Then you can't really see very good. See, I did that again. Yep, right there. Like when I put my hand in front of my face or something, it must just do that. Now I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. This one is in 05 Fair. I'm just gonna bake under my eyes. So I'm just gonna take that same sponge, pick it up, and then I'm gonna bake under my eyes. Pressing it in. And then it just kind of over the nose. kind of dab it in. Take some more of that powder. I'm gonna take this like flat end here and then I'm gonna put it in the powder and then just all over my face I'm gonna just dab it. I'm like baking my entire face. When you're dancing and everything, hopefully it will keep it locked in better than just kind of like dusting a powder on over with like a brush. And then just kind of all over the face and into the corners of the nose too. Just kind of baking the entire face. I'm not gonna bake like on my eyelid though. That's like the only place I'm not gonna put this like powder, setting it in with my sponge. So this is kind of how it's looking right now. I will kind of like go over and like dust it off, just like all the excess powder. I'm gonna move on to my eyebrows. So what I've been liking with my eyebrows recently, instead of just taking like the Anastasia dip brow and like just filling it all in, or like with whatever, maybe like an eyebrow pencil I'd use, instead of just filling the entire eyebrow in and like doing like that Instagram eyebrow, I like carving out like the bottom with concealer so there's like a defined line, and then I like putting just like a few flicks of stuff like in the sparser areas I guess, and then just kind of like doing that instead, and then like setting it with a clear brow gel. But because I like how it looks better, it doesn't look so like boxy and like really thick. But I mean, it is stage makeup, so you could always fill it in like thicker, especially if you have like, my eyebrows are pretty like, they're not too sparse, they're a little bit thicker, but if you have like thin eyebrows or like sparse eyebrows, you can always just fill that in anyway because it is on the stage. So you want to have like more defined, that's going to be like stronger. It's going to have more of like a stronger eyebrow for the stage because then you can see it from the audience. I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, and then you see how I have like a scar right here, and my eyebrows are pretty messy too because I've been like filling them in, or sorry, I've been growing them out, but right there is kind of like where I have a scar in my eyebrow, see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like fill in my scar, fill this out, just like light brush strokes, and then define underneath them with concealer, but like not do like a huge like just fill in the entire brow sort of. I'm gonna fill this part in the most, and then everything else I'm just gonna kind of wisp through and kind of press harder to get the color on. I find it's harder to like make the color stick in my scar too, which sucks. And then just kind of like define the bottom here. Kind of brushing it through, but it's not anything like super defined. It's gonna look more like hairy and everything instead of just like a block of brown. I ended up filling it in a little more than I like intended to, but and then I'm just gonna brush them up, brush the hairs up with the other end of the Brow Wiz here. All right, and then my other eyebrow that doesn't have a scar, I'm just gonna do that one off camera, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back with the other brow, and then I'm going to carve them out with concealer. I like carving it out, and it looks so nice, like just like carved on the bottom. I found, cause like I've already put like foundation and like concealer or whatever like on my eyelid, it kind of like the foundation kind of went up into the brow. But if you don't do that and you don't put like anything on and then you just carve it out with concealer, there's not gonna be any like kind of stuck in on the bottom, and it's gonna look even more defined because like your natural skin's kind of gonna be under there instead of the foundation having gotten pushed up into your eyebrow. So it might look even more defined if you don't end up putting the concealer and foundation on like in the first few steps of the makeup routine. I'm gonna take the same Tarte Shape Tape concealer, it's still in Fair, and then I'm taking this Juvia's Place J9 Brow Definer. It's just this flat brush, and this is my favorite brush to use to clean up my brow. I'm just gonna take a bit off like right from the tube here, and then just kind of like on my, load up the brush not like too much, but I'm just going to just define this bottom line, and then I'm just gonna like drag it down and blend it in to the rest of the eyelid. Oh no, I messed up the line. I'm just gonna go back in with the brow wiz and then just like redraw in. Okay, and then after that, I'm just gonna drag the concealer down. Tapping underneath to blend it down into the rest of my eyelid. Alright, and then the exact same thing on the other eyebrow. I'll just do that off camera and then I'll be back. I like to moisture my lips while they haven't gotten to them yet. EOS lip balm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm just gonna take my little blender sponge and then just like go over the entire eyelid, bounce it in. And then for eyeshadow, which is coming up next, you can use like a wet base like P. Louise, or like you can use like a MAC like paint pot to like prime your lids and then help them to like last longer, like your eyeshadow and everything. But if you're in a rush with your makeup, trying to like get your stage makeup on, you don't have to. I don't really find that like with me, my eyeshadows really like ended up creasing too much when I didn't use a base. I'm going to take just a brush. I'm just gonna take this one. This is the Morphe E48 from the James Charles brush collection. And I'm just gonna take more of that like Fit Me loose powder, and I'm just gonna take like a tiny bit. It's gonna take like a little thing of that, and then I'm just gonna like dust it over my eyelids just so it's like more dry. And then just so it's not like creasing too much, and it kind of like sets that. We should set that carving that we did of our brows too, and then I'm just gonna do the other side. There we go. Now for the eyeshadow. First, what I'm gonna do is take some invisible tape. Some tape right here. I'm gonna like put them like right along the edges here, just like angling up, and that's gonna like make the eyeshadow, like even if you don't have time to do like a winged eyeliner and stuff, it's gonna make the eyeshadow kind of have that wing, and then that's kind of nice for stage makeup. So then I'm just gonna like play with it in my fingers like this, just so it's not so sticky, because you don't want to like pull it off your eye and then it's like stretching your skin and everything like that. So I'm just gonna like try to take away some of the stickiness by just like playing with it with my fingers, just so it like wears down the tackiness. I'm gonna stick it like right at my corner, so instead of like putting it like say like a little bit down like that, I'm gonna put it like right at the corner right here, and then I'm just gonna kind of angle it, and then I'm gonna match it with the other one. Now that we've got the tape on our eyelids, what I like doing with my like for Ukrainian dance and my ballet makeup is I like just doing like a smoky eye that's like transition from dark to light all the way up. You might have like other rules on like how the eyeshadow is supposed to be in your clubs and schools and stuff, but for me, what I like doing, I like putting the darkest brown on my lid, and then as it transitions into the crease, it's gonna be a lighter brown, and then all fading into the lightest brown. So it's just gonna be like dark to light, and there's gonna be no cut creases or like any like real crease definition. It's just gonna kind of be like an overall like brown shadow. I'm going to take this Morphe M501 brush from the James Charles brush set collection. And then I just got this yesterday. It's the Maybelline The Matte Bar eyeshadow palette. This is kind of what it looks like. I tried it out yesterday just on my eyes, and it is very like powdery, and there's like a lot of kickback in the pan. I want to try this kind of, because it has these lighter kind of brownish nude colors, and then it's got this dark brown that I want to use for like on the lid. So I'm just gonna take this one right here, and I'm just gonna like take a bit of that, and then just like I'm gonna sweep it across my crease. Just kind of start patting it and then sweeping it across. Alright, now that we have that like first base kind of down, I'm going to take my Saharan palette by Juvia's Place, and then I'm going to take this brush here. This is the Morphe M441 from the James Charles brush collection. I use a lot of these brushes now that I have that, and I'm just gonna take Katsina, this light brown kind of color right here. It's just a matte brown, and then I'm just gonna put that more into the crease. But yeah, I don't want to go like too warm orangey brown looking on my eyes. I don't like how that looks for like my stage makeup. Go back to the matte bar, and then I'm just gonna take an even smaller brush. It's Morphe M456, and it's smaller. And then I'm gonna take this kind of light ashy brown color. And then just like swirling it around after I've patted it on. If you're in a rush to do your stage makeup, you don't have to do as many colors. You could even just do like 1 or 2, maybe like not quite as light, or you could just go in with that, like this shade right here in your crease, and then just go into the darkest color right on the lid and then be done if you're like in a rush to do your stage makeup. But since I'm not in a rush, I'm going to do just like a whole bunch of different kind of shades and like blend it up. So I'm just kind of packing it in, blending it out. And then going back into that big brush I had before, the M501, I'm just gonna like sweep over everything. Alright, I've done that to the other eye as well, and then just blended it out. Okay, and then we're gonna go into the very darkest shade and plop that onto the lid. I'm just gonna go with my NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. I'm gonna take my MAC 242S brush. I'm gonna take this one, which is like the darkest shade, and then the one like right beside it. I'm gonna like mix them together, and I'm gonna like plop that right, pack it right onto that lid right there. And then a little more of that darker shade there. I'm just gonna blend it out with one of those smaller brushes that we used before. And then the bigger one. Okay, now I'm gonna try the matte bar one, this really dark one. Okay, so now that I've done both eyes, I'm gonna go back into the matte bar, and then this time I'm gonna take this like yellower one right here, this yellower shade, and I'm going to take that, and then just kind of on the very top, just kind of sweep it all kind of around the very top, swirl it around. And it is like going up onto my brow bone. Okay, I'm gonna take the tape off now, and I will have to kind of reapply the foundation over here just because the tape kind of took it off. But there we have our defined kind of wing. So yeah, if you don't have time to do like a winged eyeliner for your stage makeup, you can just like do this and it will give the illusion of a wing. Okay, before I do liner, I'm just gonna take this Still Spa Essentials powder brush, and I'm just gonna like sweep it all the way around so any of that like powder that we had put on, like when we baked, any excess loose stuff can just fly off. Okay, for liner, I'm going to take this NYX matte liquid liner. So right along here, I'm just gonna like trace that line. You can kind of drag it out like however much you like need to. We'll clean it up with concealer after, and then I'm just gonna drag it back. And then I'm just gonna take that Juvia's Place brush that we used to clean up our brows. I'm just gonna take that again and then clean up this line here with concealer and just make it straight. just gonna take my sponge and blend that down. So then I'm just gonna do the other wing off camera. And then I shall be back. Boom, that's eyeliner done. They're not like really even, and I like got a bloop right there, but like whatever. I'm gonna take that contour and highlight pro palette again, and I'm just gonna take that very darkest shade, and then I'm just gonna transition the colors all the way down. So kind of like the top, just from the most close to the eye, transition to the bottom. I'm taking this Eco Tools smudge brush, and I'm going to dip into this one here and then pack it onto the lower lash line. I'm going to take the Morphe M456, and then I'm going to take this Juvia's Place Saharan, that brown shade. I'm just going to put that right underneath it and kind of like blending it in together. And then I'm going to take this M501 and I'm going to go back into the matte bar. I'm going to take that, like these two shades mixed together, and do that on the very, like, as the very last shade. Just kind of swoop that all around the bottom. Okay, that is both eyes done. Now I can move on to lashes. So what I like to do for my eyelashes is I like to take just like one of these spoolies. You can use it from like the Anastasia Brow Wiz or like whatever kind of brow product you have, and then I just like to comb through my lashes, wiggle them, like separate them before I put like my mascara on. And since we're going to be putting on false lashes, I'm not going to curl them because it's too hard to like get my eyelash on when I'm like, when they're already curled and have mascara on them. So I'm just going to like do mascara with like my lashes like straight or whatever, and then put my false lashes on next. So I'm just brushing them through. Next, I'm going to take this Maybelline Total Temptation waterproof mascara. And for lashes, I'm going to use the Ardell Wispies, the 113 black wispies, like that. And then these ones have a little bit of like length on the edges, and then we do have like that cat eye wing and like that eyeshadow that's going up, and then I'll just use the same sort of lash just to sweep up like that. And then I'm gonna use this Kiss strip lash adhesive. Looks like this. So just for lashes, I'm taking it and then I'm like making it flexible like this, and then I'm gonna do the same thing once I apply the glue to it as well, and then I'm just gonna blow on it and then wait for it to set for a little bit and then stick them on. Okay, so those are the lashes initially plopped on before I like curl them and press them together and apply more mascara to like melt them in. I'm going to move on to let's do bronzer. So I've got this little mini hoola bronzer by Benefit, so I'm just gonna take that, and then I'm gonna take this e.l.f. angled blush brush. I just use this for my bronzer, so I'm just gonna tap that on in, and then just go on my cheeks, just tapping. Gonna sweep up. And since it's stage makeup, you can make it defined. And then up in the hair here, just there, and then just kind of mainly on the two sides of my forehead, and then just kind of blending across and then downwards. And then also a little bit kind of like across the top of the nose, just so it doesn't goes along with it as well. And then a little bit along the jawline. Most of it's on the cheeks and kind of like sweeping up into the hairline like that, and then on the forehead. And then I'm taking my Real Technique sponge, and then I haven't like re-wet it or anything. It's just kind of like less damp than it was when I first started, and I'm tapping over everything to melt it into the skin more. And then I can take that other side as well, just the flat end too, and then just melt it all in together. And then I'm gonna contour with the NYX contour Highlight and Contour Pro palette. So I'm just gonna take this, I'm not sure what brand it is, you can just use any of these big like fan brushes and just kind of sweep across. I'm just sweeping across these colors here. And then I'm just gonna cut my cheekbones. So I'm just gonna like that. And then I'm just gonna kind of like dust it along here and then cut my jawline and kind of blend it down. And I'm gonna take this little Morphe E62 brush. It's like the little nose contour brush from the James Charles palette. I'm just gonna take just like this shade here and I'm just gonna like put a little bit of it just kind of like under my nose here because I feel like it's gonna kind of make my nose look a little bit shorter. I don't really contour my nose just because it's not really a nice shape for like contouring like on the sides because it's pretty defined there already. I don't know, does that make it shorter or not? I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to take this highlight shade right here and I'm just gonna like grab a bunch onto the sponge here and I'm going to dab it under my eyes to brighten the under eye. And then I'm gonna take this like shimmerier one right here and I'm just gonna do that kind of up along the cheekbones here. And then I'm gonna take that same like second brightest shade there and I'm gonna take this like flat part of it, go on there, get that in, and then I'm gonna like carve the cheekbones. And then just kind of from the bottom of it all the way to the like mouth pretty much. I'm going to take this NYX Sweet Cheeks blush palette and then I'm going to take this little Morphe M405 brush and I'm going to take this darker kind of burgundy shade here and then I'm gonna mix it with this one up here. Dab it on. And then dabbing a little bit onto the forehead as well so it kind of all ties together. And then a little bit on the chin too. And maybe a bit on the nose. And then blend it in. And I'm going to take the Anastasia clear brow gel and go over my eyebrows. Brush them up. I like them to look fluffy and kind of feathered. Now I'm gonna curl my lashes. This is our Revlon Natural Curl eyelash curler. I'm just gonna curl my lashes together and then use this mascara again and then just like blend them up. Just put some more mascara on. Look at the difference. And then I'm taking that Total Temptation mascara again. Then I'm going to take this little mini of the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray and then I'm gonna spray my face before I do my highlight and my lipstick and my bottom mascara. And keep your eyes closed and just fan it. If you have an actual fan, that's even better than this. So I'm just trying to air it off, dry it off. And then you can always do like multiple layers of setting spray just to make sure it will last through your performance and you're sweating and blah 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 blah. And then I'm just gonna kind of blend. Oh no, I forgot to take off the little bake before I did setting spray, but oh well. Just kind of like melt everything in. I'm gonna take this Ofra X NikkieTutorials glazed donut highlighter and I'm taking that same fluffy brush I used to like blend my eyeshadow, except I'm taking off the actual brown eyeshadow that I use. This is the Morphe M501 and I'm taking this and I'm just gonna like spritz this brush once I get this all tapped in so that the highlight will appear even brighter. So I'm just gonna like spray that just there, and then just take a little more, and then I'm going to highlight. Yes. All on kind of like the side of my face right here, and then the cheekbone as well. And then I'm just gonna take my sponge and just kind of like do this so it kind of like blends in with everything else. Gonna take some more highlight on a J8 small corner brush by Juvia's Place, and then I'm gonna put that in the inner corner right here. And also a little bit on the brow bone too. I'm going to take this Luxury Intense Lip Liner in Deep Red by Kiss. Then also I'm taking this MAC Dubonnet Amplified Lipstick, and this is what I use for Ukrainian dance performances. I kind of like to overline like this corner of the top right here on each side, and then just kind of the top as well, but it's kind of thinner in my lips like right here, so I like to overline that a bit. If you make any mistakes, you can always clean it up with concealer. Or just kind of try to smudge it with your finger. I'm kind of filling it in. Okay, and then the MAC lipstick. There we go. Then you can always add some more setting spray to the look as well once you're done, just to blend everything in. Oh, I forgot to do bottom mascara, so. And another spritz of the spray. Alright, so that is the finished look. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and then if you don't mind, you can subscribe to my channel as well. I'll hopefully be posting more tutorials. You can comment down below if you want to see anything specific, or even like other looks that I've done on like my Instagram. My Instagram is at mkenziemakeup, so you can follow me on there too if you like. But yeah, hopefully you liked this look. It kind of looks Christmassy, but yeah, this is kind of like the standard stage makeup that I do. It is competition season out there, so good luck to all performers. Alright, see you guys!